FGP Fellagood Podcast, baby. Yeah. I'm back in the house. I'm back in the motherfucking house, and it's good to be here. No nonsense. I know it's been a while, but I'm jumping right into it. FGP episode 45. Winter is here. Oh, whew, winter is here. You know, a lot of people say winter's coming. No, winter is here. You have to understand that. There's many facets and reasons why winter is here. I know I've took a break. I've took a long break purposely because I feel like something in my spirit just told me to pull back for a minute. And I've been sitting back and I've been watching, but I've been working on my health as well. You know what I'm saying? I know you can see it in my neck, and then, you know, I'm down about 65 pounds. You know, I'm healthy. I'm eating better. I'm working out every day. Today marks 107 straight days of working out. I quit smoking. You know, just focusing more in on myself and focusing more on, focusing more on being healthy because, you know, all this money is nothing without the health. You can have all the money in the world, but if you ain't healthy enough to be around to spend it and enjoy it, what does it mean, right? So, you know, I've been just watching a lot of stuff, and a lot has unfolded. And I got a lot to talk to y'all about, just so we on the same page. Fellagood Podcast is brought to you by GOODFELLAZLLC. Hashtag GOODFELLAZLLC. Hashtag Fellagood Podcast. Hashtag Koger. Hashtag fuck your merch. I ain't got my shirt on because I lost so much weight. If I put the shirt on, you'll see that the shirt's just too big. So I gotta get new shirts. But this shirt is more important than ever to wear because, you know, I know you see the NFL, and everybody's seen this shirt. You see the NFL and the characters on it. But it means so much more than what you see. And I'm not gonna dive in that today, but we're gonna get into it. I'm a little hot, because even though I stopped smoking, I'm still drinking. I sip a little bit, got a little Henny, a little Cavassier, you know, past the Cavassier. But yeah, I've just been sitting back, man. I've just been sitting back and watching, being very quiet, very patient, you know, hoping the numbers would jump up for me, but I know why they ain't jumping up, especially after the altercation with, I believe, I forget what episode that was, might have been 31, or when I talked about, you got to watch the algorithm, so you can't say certain things too, especially in the title. But when I talked about Agenda 21, and they took, it was a 2-part video. Ever since then, things been a little rocky. But I've been watching, and there's been a lot going on. We have witnessed a lot transpire, and we're going to get into it today. And I'm going to just keep hitting y'all with this heat like I always do, because I can't help it. I can't sit back any longer and watch it unfold like it's unfolding. And you know, I always tell people, you're supposed to learn something new every day. And if you ain't, when you stop learning, you're dead. Well, I'm definitely learning something new every day, and I'm learning new stuff as I go along. And all this information that I'm learning and that I'm obtaining, I feel like I'm gonna explode. So I gotta let it out. But yeah, let's get to it. Episode 45. Winter is here. Winter is here. No, it ain't, you know, cold or nothing like that yet. But winter is here, far way before expectations. Winter is here, ladies and gentlemen. First up, eviction. The eviction memorandum has been lifted here in Minnesota and many other states. But here in Minnesota specifically, our governor, Tim Walz, old Timmy, it's been lifted. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for so many of our friends and people that we know, people that we see on Facebook? It means rent is due. Rent is due now. Now. Rent is due now. There's no payment plans. There's no assistance coming for help or anything. Rent is due now. And there's a lot of people out there that hasn't paid rent since COVID started back in 2020. And they just been chilling. They just been chilling and yeah, rent is due now. For real. And so winter's here. It's gonna be cold out here pretty soon. You're gonna see our homeless rate is gonna skyrocket because there's so many people that thought they could just get by without paying rent like you normally should do, pay your bills like you normally should do. Rent is due, okay? Now, I know a lot of people, was doing PPP loans, scams, whatever, PPP this, and doing all these different loans and stuff like that and getting the money. And boy, I tell you, a lot of that money people was letting go through their hands. What they do with it, Some people did. These ain't the legit people who got a loan and really started a business and wanted to change their life, especially in the pandemic. I salute y'all. That actually did something with that money. When it comes time for forgiveness, you're going to be able to show your receipts and what you did, and you'll be good. You're good. I'm not talking about y'all. But the people that got the 20,000 loans, 40,000 loans, $60,000 loans, and did nothing with their money but buy weed to smoke, weave for your hair, and went to Miami to get your butt fixed and your breast fixed. That's all I see on my Facebook though. Motherfuckers going to Miami and Vegas. That's all I seen. Miami and Vegas, Florida. And I know this is off topic, but this sidebar, one thing that surfaced and I've noticed while I've been sitting back and watching, we're going to get into this in later episodes, is that, a lot of people been going to Miami. A lot of things have been going in Miami. And because of, I've learned about the Pink Hotel. And we're going to talk about the Pink Hotel. Not today, but we're going to get into that. The Pink Hotel is heavy. It's been one of the reasons why the conscious community is falling. But we'll get into that. But rent is due. So the people who went and bought nice cars, and, cashed out on cars, and, they're taking trips, and, I know people who got money like that and paid their rent up for a year. Like, salute to you. Smart. Paid your rent up for a year and made your LLC in your house, so you're using the house for the business and you actually doing something, whether it's selling T-shirts, shouts out to so many of my people that's doing something. I got a guy that's got his own transportation business, Dennis Bell, shout out to you. His own transportation business, plus he worked in transportation, and he got his own floor cleaner business now, and I'm not saying he did any PPP, he probably didn't, but if he did, it looks like he's doing it the right way. There's so many people doing it the right way, but there's so many of you that don't know. Winter is here. Winter is here. Yeah, it started last month, September, 1st of August, rent was due. But now the pressures, I got people that are landlords and I know landlords and the pressure is here. The memorandum is lifted and there's nowhere to go. You either got to pay up or go. And most people got to go because they ain't got, $15,000. They should have it from all the scams and shit they've been doing, but they don't have $15,000 to pay the landlord. And so the landlord need their money or you got to go because they got people that want to rent. So it's going to be a lot of properties opening now for people who's looking for housing. Ain't going to be no problem for you to find housing. No problem at all because there's a lot of vacancies coming up in September and October. And yeah, it's just a damn shame, man. People's minds are all messed up. I know, man, especially if you ain't used to having nothing. And then somebody tell you, hey, you could do and get this and that, But I've been sitting back, man, and I've watched it all. People, how you get $60,000 come through your hands and you ain't paid your rent up at your apartment or your wherever you live up? You pay that shit up for 2 years if you smart, you know? How you don't pay off your car? How you don't pay your rent up and pay your electricity bill up and pay all that shit up so you ain't gotta worry about nothing. Unemployment, the extra unemployment bump is over, you know? People are gonna be forced to get back to work now. It's time to get back to work. There's no more lollygagging, sitting around. My head must have shrunk too because I feel like the hat done got bigger. Ain't no more lollygagging going on, It's time to get, the shit, what they say, the gig's up. The gig's up, Johnny. Rent is due. Also, starting October 1st. Now, this is a big hit right here. This is heavy. Another thing I've witnessed, and we've all seen it. But October 1st, OnlyFans will no longer allow porn, pretty much, because that's what girls were doing. Pornographic activity, all the shit that was going on OnlyFans is pretty much like porn. You could break it down how you want to, but it was porn. Starting October 1st, OnlyFans won't be doing that anymore. And so, winter is here. I know some women personally who that was their main income, and they were making a killing off of it, and now they've been forced to go get real jobs. I know strippers personally that were making a lot of money on OnlyFans, and now where they were able to stop stripping and stop hoeing, and then I look up on my Facebook, and now they in a fucking strip club. Facts. This is a fact. This ain't a shot at nobody. This is just what I know. This is what what I do here, FGP. I keep it real. I keep it 100. And these are my observations. I've seen it. I ain't just talking. These things, I've seen a woman who was a stripper and a well-known whore. She stopped whoring. Well, she stopped doing whatever she was doing with the stripping, and was on OnlyFans, popping, killing it. And now she's smart enough to see that she ain't waiting until October 1st. She knows now she got on a good foot and went somewhere and got her a job in a strip club. And now she back being a stripper and back home again. Back being a streetwalker or a high-end escort, if you will. These are facts. So yeah, winter is here. You're gonna hear me say that a lot, but I got it from Kevin Samuels, and he talks about it on the relationship side and the modern women and high earning men and stuff like that. He speaks of winter coming, and it makes sense what he's saying. I fuck with Kevin. He gives a different perspective on things and everything. I fuck with him, but you're going to hear me say it, but I got it from him, Kevin Samuels. But winter is here. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. OnlyFans is a done data. That's going to hurt a lot of people that depended on that money. Dependency. I want to talk about dependency. Now, you know how I give it up. And you can go back on my YouTube, Fellagood Podcast on YouTube. You can go back. It's like a library at this point, a lot of content. And I don't know exactly which episode it was. Could have been as far as back as in the beginning when it was big, Goody and Big. But I know a lot of times I talked about dependency. And mainly I talked about dependency in the beginning of COVID because I was laying out how to create dependency, to make one dependent on, right? And so now here we are on the other side of it, right? You very well can see it. They created dependency. They gave you all these extra monies, these PPP loans and all this extra stuff, food stamps and all this stuff, and created this dependency that we, this was back in 2020. Now we in 2021. People are, you know, um, it's almost like it's like classical conditioning. If you come into my office and or any office, and they got a dish of candy, a little bowl of candy on the desk. Every time you come into the office, you're in the waiting room or whatever, and you're waiting to come in, and there's candy. You grab a piece of candy every time, right? And one day, months later, you go in that office. Say you're going to a therapist. So every time you go in there, you sit down, you get a piece of candy, you eat the piece of candy, and read a book or something. Pick up a magazine, or you mess around with your phone. Months later, you come in there one day, and there's no candy dish there. You can be like, what the fuck? And I've talked about this before. A lot of things I'm going to say today are repeats. I've talked about, and I've called out a lot of things. I talked about this before. Now, one day you come in there and that candy dish isn't there. Or it's there and it's empty. You'll be like, what the fuck? I'm fucking with my candy. Little strawberry candies and wrap. Ooh, they so fire. You'll be like, what the candies at? You might even be like, hey, to the receptionist, you can get some more candies in this dish bowl, Classical conditioning. It's when you're conditioned classically. Without much effort. It's something that just happens naturally, in other words. And so that's what they did to the whole world when they hit you with this, this new thing, this COVID, right? They hit you with this COVID. And then we had to wear the masks. And it's so much now I see so much more into the mask. And we're going to dig into that later. Not today. But I've dug into it before. And I've told you guys about the mask and what it does to us as a whole. And what it has done. But dependency has been created now. And now that dependency has been created, now you're witnessing some of the things I already talked about at the top of the show. Now you're witnessing, as / would say, the rug being snatched from under your feet. That's what it feels like. That's what this is. The rug is being snatched from beneath your feet. So those of you who have become dependent on the system, food stamps, the extra unemployment money, unemployment in itself, the PPP loans, all these extra monies and free grants and stuff. Those of you who have come dependent on that, those of you who have come dependent on not having to pay your rent, not having to pay your bills, that rug is being snatched under your motherfucking feet. Voop! Clean from under your feet now. And so, with that being said, winter is here. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. The rug is being snatched as we speak. There's a lot of things going on. Oh, there's so much going on in the world. Whew. There's always a lot going on, but boy, I've been sitting, like I said, my head feel like it's going to explode because I've just been sitting back, like Iron Man when he was in the cave, Iron Man 1, when he's in that cave, I always talk about that. He made Iron Man in that cave. I've just been sitting back, soaking in everything and working on my Iron Man suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to suit up on you bitches. Yeah, you know what it is. Fellagood Podcast. Jonathan Tony Stark Coger on Facebook. Fellagood Podcast on YouTube. Fellagood Podcast on Facebook. We got to get them numbers up. Run them numbers up. We're about to start going live. Fellagood, my own website is done. I've completed it. I've completed it months ago. I'm sitting around fucking off. But I didn't want to put it out yet until I feel it's right to put it out. Because I want the support to be behind me. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people fuck with me. Not just here in the cities. Not just here in Minnesota. Not just here in the U.S. People fuck with me over abroad. Actually, they show me, I've talked about this. They've showed me more love over abroad in other countries. I know people rocking with me. I know people fucking with me, but I need y'all to fuck with me more because I'm about to go hard body. Oh, I'm saying that like I don't always go hard body. I'm about to go harder than that. I'm about to go full throttle. You hear me? Winter is here. Dependency has been created and people have bought into it, and now the rug is being snatched from under your feet. A quick update. I talked about this at the top of the show. My health. Health is wealth. I noticed, when I started this health kick about 107 days ago, about 4 months ago, I weighed almost 400 pounds. I was 386. I now stand in front of y'all at 323. Well, about 60 something pounds I lost, right? And I did this all for me, because not just for me, for my kids. I want to be around longer, longevity. That's the name of the game, longevity. To be around. You want to be around for your kids if you can. And I've been every day. I haven't missed a day, just working out. And I noticed, just like my show, I'm getting a lot of love from my people, but I'm getting more love from strangers. And I just want to let y'all know I love each and every one of y'all that support me in what I'm doing, whether it's the podcast or the health as well. I love each and every one of you because I appreciate y'all, because you don't have to support, you don't have to like. And there's some people that like every time I post, I go to the gym, and somebody, it's people that just show me love. And out of nowhere, it'll be a stranger, and it really touched me. Someone that was on my Facebook friend list, she was just like, I really fuck with you in real life. She says, I fuck with your energy in real life. She don't know me, but she just been watching me, and she said she fuck with my energy, and she just want to know, she just let me know, salute, pretty much. I see you, boy. I see you, my man. I see you, king. You doing your thing. Salute. That's pretty much what she was saying. And she told me that it motivates her. And that touched me more than anything, to know that something I start doing for myself could motivate others. Just like this podcast. When I started this podcast 2 years ago, it touched me to see friends that I know and people that I know that weren't doing podcasting now doing podcasts. It made me feel good, even though they won't tell me, that I'm, hey man, you doing your podcast. I know I motivated you, and salute to you. And I wish you nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to tell you that you motivated them or you inspired them to do something. Everybody's different. I'll tell you. I'll tell you somebody inspired me and motivated me. Big, he'll tell you, if you fresh, you clean. Oh, where you get them shoes from, man? He all the time, whenever I'm with him, we somewhere, we see somebody, he'll stop. Hey, man, where you get that jacket from? That's how me and him met. Real people do real things. And so for this queen, this woman, to let me know that, salute to you, king. You're doing your thing, and to let me know that I motivate her. I want to tell you, sister, salute to you. I love you, and I appreciate the support. And I hope in my motivation and inspiration to you that I can, that maybe you start doing a little bit more yourself and inspire others. That's what it's all about. I feel like I'm here on earth to uplift and inspire. And if that inspiration gives you motivation to better your life, fucking right. I'm all for it. I just never looked at it like that, but that's what it turned out to be. And again, to everybody who supports me in what I do, salute to you. And the ones that don't support me, salute to you as well. Because I love everybody here at Fellagood Podcast. Because all I'm here to do is do what I've been doing, kicking up dust and bringing to the forefront the bullshit that the world has you in, the matrix of the world, and spread positivity. And just so we're clear, I've said this many times and I'll say it again. I beat down the Bible. Yes, I do. But you'll never hear me tell you that God ain't real, because God is most definitely real. God is real. Now, if we talk about Jesus, we gonna have some talks about that. We're gonna, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in Jesus, but I know there's a God. I know there's a God. So I just don't, when I get big, I know motherfuckers gonna attack me and, oh, you don't believe. I don't believe in Jesus, but I definitely believe in God. And I don't believe in the Bible, because the Bible has been manipulated so much. And even within that manipulation, it has been used as a tool to destroy us, and it has been working very well. So I'm never going to get off of that. Even as the conscious community falls, I never was part of the conscious community. Let's be clear on that. Fellagood Podcast, Goody and Big, has never been a part of the conscious community. I have mentioned Young Pharaoh in the past, and I have mentioned Polite in the past. Them brothers is going down. I don't know, Polite been seen at the Pink Hotel. We're going to get into that, not today. As far as Young Pharaoh and what he's going through, hey, I like them brothers, and I spoke on them because their path and the way they were speaking aligned with my thinking and what I was speaking. But, I don't support human trafficking or pedophilia. I'm against all that. I beat up people. That's all I've done on this show, is beat down pedophiles and human trafficking and talk about that. That's all I've ever done. And so as far as Young Pharaoh, I don't know what's going on with him, but in my spirit, I pulled away from him way before shit hit the fan as of now. And same thing with Polite. I pulled away from him because something in my spirit told me to pull away. And I stopped talking about him, which I didn't talk about him that much in the first place. But nevertheless, that's just my disclaimer to y'all. I've never been part of the conscious community. I believe that itself is another like Black Lives Matter type, Blue Lives Matter, fake organization type deal, just to squeeze and, because the higher ups just want to squeeze us, especially our people. They want to squeeze every little bit that they can out of us. But enough of that. That was just my little sidebar to talk about my health, and I went somewhere else, like I do. But speaking of health, I want to talk about mental health. Winter is here. Yeah. How is your mental health? We've been through a lot since 2020, since COVID hit. We've all been through it. And a lot of people have been on lockdown and quarantine and stuff like that. And we've seen the news, and a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. People who've never been around each other that much. Things happen when you're locked down with somebody, and you can be around somebody too much. Like sometimes you can be around somebody and you can just say, "Oh, I'm going to leave, get out and get some air," which everybody could do. I forgot to turn on this thing. Everybody can get away and get air when they need it, but how is your mental health right now? And I ask that because I know everybody's different. I know me personally, I've been through a lot during COVID and just life itself, period. And everybody's different. Everybody handles things differently. I feel me personally, I'm built for adversity. I'm built for, like, a lot of people will need to go to counseling. There's nothing wrong with counseling. A lot of people need to talk to people about their problems and stuff. I feel like me personally, I know how to self heal and meditate and go within myself. That's something I always preach here on Fellagood Podcast, going within. And so when adversity and when need be, I go within myself and I meditate and I think about stuff and I kind of but that's not an option for everybody. And so how is your mental health? I just want to take a second and ask you that. And what do you think the impact of COVID and the quarantines and all the stuff that's been going on has had on your mental health? I know, I know. Kids are going back to school after Labor Day. School's back up, which I think is a good thing. Um, I fear that we might end up back in lockdown because of the new variant. Um, but hopefully not. I think school is a good thing for the kids to get back into uh, socializing. A lot of kids didn't do well on distance learning. Statistics show that a lot of kids didn't learn anything on distance learning. And I think that being in the classroom and having that interaction with your peers and the teacher is better than being on a computer. I mean, I've talked about how, I only like the fact that kids now at school, everybody got an iPad, there's no pencil and paper, and I think that aspect takes away from the realism of the world, even though I don't believe the curriculum that they're teaching is actually of worth a damn, because they're not teaching our kids what they, when I used to work at Temple Israel, they had a school in there and they taught their kids finance, accounting, taxes, all that stuff. They don't teach our kids those kind of things in the inner city schools or in, regular curriculum. So, but that's neither here or there. The socializing aspect of school is very important, I believe. So, school is starting back. But that, I just wanted to ask that. How is your mental health? And if I ask you that, and you say to yourself, well, how is my mental health? Don't. I just want to be that. I want to let you know that not only am I here for you. You can reach out to me down in the description. You can email me, and we can get exchange numbers or whatever. If you need somebody to talk to, I'll be going live. Fellagood Podcast will be going live in the future. I've been saying it for a while, but I'm ready now. I'm up. I have the equipment and the good internet to do live shows. But if you need someone to talk to, I want you to know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody, a professional or counseling. Nothing's wrong with that. Just because you need counseling don't mean you're crazy. If you need to talk to somebody about anything, and I want you to know that I'm here for you, you can email me at fellagoodpodcast@yahoo.com. If you need to talk to me about anything that might be bothering you, you might be going through something. And like I said, when we go live, we'll have shows where we have people call in and it'll be an open floor. I'm no therapist, but I'm good with people. And at one point in my life, I was going to college to be a therapist because I'm good with people. I'm good at talking and I know how to listen. And I've experienced enough of life that maybe I can lend a hand or lend an ear for sure. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to get professional help if you may need it. This stuff that we went through in the last 2 years is not normal, and it has had effect on us all in different ways. Everybody's different. And so I'm just here to let you know, if you think you may need help, if you've been so boxed in by this quarantine and all this and vaccinations and stuff, and I know people who are really scared and haven't left their house until now. And if these type of things have done something to you, you think you need to talk to somebody, just know I'm here. You can talk to me, or you can look up a professional and talk to them. On the lines of that, we're gonna move along to the resurgence or the new variant I just spoke on, the new Delta variant. The new Delta variant is, in past, I keep saying this, but in past shows I talked about, it being a shape-shifting virus. And it started at COVID-19, and then these different variants, and they've been telling you that it's a shape-shifting virus to let you know that this thing can mutate into other things. And I mentioned to you guys the B.1.1.7 variant. No one's never heard of that, but it's true. It's a different variant. And then now we have the Delta variant. And so, again, that just backs up the shape shifting, the changing. I mean, it's going to be something else after this. So, as we come off of lockdown and all that, and we try to open back up, and all states have opened back up, then, these cases start to rise up with this new variant, and now it's a question mark. Are we going back in lockdown again, or is it just more of a push for the vaccines? And a lot of people are against vaccines. I'll tell you right now, I ain't got to tell you, you guys already know. I'm against the vaccine myself. Personally, I won't be taking any vaccine. I also, speaking about this new variant, the state fair is going on right now here in Minnesota, which the numbers are so, record low, has hit a record low. In 20 years, they've never had this low number of attendance because a lot of people are scared to come outside. But I also heard of something called the State Fair Project. And I heard, to not speculate or go into it too depth, but the State Fair Project was supposed to be something where they're able to test out stuff. So maybe that's why the numbers are down. A lot of people have heard about the State Fair Project. A lot of, you get everybody in the State Fair and the whole world is, if you could picture the whole world, scientists having you have guinea pigs and you do experiments on them, and we've all been guinea pigs. We've all been guinea pigs for forever. It just didn't start in 2020. We've all been guinea pigs one time in our life or another, and so the State Fair was going to be another opportunity for them to test out this variant. And so that might be why the numbers are down as well at the State Fair. Fellagood Podcast, I've said it many times today, have projected so many things. And I've said it, and I just want my flowers now. I don't want my flowers later. Because I've said a lot of things on this show. And as I sat back and took a break at episode 44, now we at 45 now, a lot of things that I've said have come, all the seeds that I planted have bear fruit. All the things that I've talked about have come to pass and are right here now. I remember talking about, when I was telling you guys that you'll be able to get the shot at Walgreens, you'll be able to go to CVS, you'll be able to get the vaccination at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. I said that. I didn't lie. One thing you're gonna give me my respect and flowers on, and I demand it, is that I don't tell no lies here on this show. I don't do nothing but spit that shit, hot shit, the truth. The truth. As I said, that they called it a shape-shifting virus, and again, to prepare you, to prepare you for what's to come. Because if they never mentioned that it was a shape-shifting virus, that it can mutate to other things, and they just hit you with it, then you'd be off. Oh, but if they kind of break you into it, and I, for the life of me, can't think of the word, desensitize you. If they desensitize you to something, then when it comes, it's not a surprise. But getting back to our old Timmy, our Governor Waltz here, he has a lot on his hands. He's had a lot on his hands since COVID popped off. He's had a lot on his hands. He's got a lot going on. He's dealing with a lot of stuff. His plate is full. People are always, he can't even be at the governor's mansion because of life threats in the family and stuff like that, and they're always on his lawn protesting. And the people have right to protest, peacefully protest. They have the right. The threats and stuff ain't called for, but people are upset the way Timmy has been handling Minnesota. And quite frankly, him not taking care of Minnesotans. Me personally, I've been on Timmy's ass. I told y'all he ain't doing his job, and people are sick of it. And now, with all the stuff that he has on his plate, he has opened the door. Since Afghanistan stuff, all this stuff popped off, all the cabal, whatever, he's opened our door, saying we'll take in some of those refugees. We'll take them in. And so people are upset with that because don't you have enough on your hand? You're not even taking care of Minnesotans. But the refugees will come in here and start their new life and surpass me and everybody that's watching this show. They'll come, and I'm just keeping it real. They'll come and they'll get everything. They'll get everything they want, start their own businesses and all kind of shit. Nice cars, everything. Credit. And so the people are mad. And I understand why. Because you have a lot on your plate, Governor Timmy Waltz. And so what makes you think you need to pour more onto your plate to spilleth over? Doesn't make much sense to me. Doesn't make much sense to me. And on top of that, Timmy's got to answer a lot of questions, but one I'm going to bring to you today is the Southwest light rail scandal. Hmm? Hmm? Yeah. The Southwest light rail scandal. Now, it's being said that all these monies that we pay, our taxes and monies that go towards these things, well, if you hear the word scandal, and we know there's been light rails being built, it's almost like a Ponzi scheme. So Timmy's going to have to answer to that, and many other of our wonderful governors, the governor of Minneapolis, and again, he's got a lot on his plate, but he got time to open up the door for new refugees, which will in turn make new citizens, right? But there's a reason for that. Boy, it's a reason for that. And we'll get into it. But to switch the topic, to change the topic, some good news, perhaps. Dylan Wolf will be sentenced to death for the church killings. The boy that went into that church and killed everybody after they prayed for him, and he killed all of them, and then the police ended up taking him to Burger King to get some food before they brought him in. Facts. Those are facts. Everybody knows it. He's been sentenced to death, which is great, rightfully so. He should be, only problem is he probably won't be executed till he's like 90 years old, if that. He's being sentenced to death, so that means you go to death row. How long will he sit in death row? There's people in death row right now that's been sitting in death row for 30, 40, 50 years. So, even though he's been sentenced to death, that's a good thing, but, there's a lot of people out there that want to see that switch pulled in the next 30 days. And I'm one of them. Another news, pediatricians sue our President Biden over transgender mandate for children. The agenda is being pushed and has been being pushed for quite some time now. So, y'all know what it is. Pediatricians sued our president, Joe Biden, over transgender mandate for children. But that goes in with the ABCs, the gay BCs, and all that. I just feel, and I'm not alone, and this is no attack. This is my disclaimer. I love everybody. This is no shot. I don't want no problem. I don't want to be canceled by the LGBTQ. I don't have any problems with the LGBTQ or any gays that choose to be. But I do feel like there's agenda, the stuff with the baby and Nas X and all that. There is something being pushed here, and everyone can see it. And when I was growing up, it's like night and day from when I was growing up to now. This stuff is being pushed on our children. Lil Boosie said it, and I'm gonna say it. I ain't scared. It's the truth. It's being pushed on our children, and yeah, everyone has free will and choice. But when you're shoving it down the kids' throats, why do they need to learn these things as they're kids? A lot of people are standing behind me on that, though. It's not like I'm just one out of the crowd, out of the group. A lot of people stand with me on that. There's an agenda being pushed on our children, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I want to show this image of the Pope. I just want to know, I have one question. I ain't going to hold y'all too much longer. Why is so many rappers, entertainers, blacks, whites, friends on my Facebook, throwing up this sign that the Pope is throwing up? That's all. I just want to know why. Why is so many people, from rappers to singers, girls, boys, people on my Facebook, gang members, they all throwing up this sign that the Pope is throwing up? If you know the answer to the question, please, down below in the comments, let me know. There's so much to talk about and so much to cover, but of course I can't cover it. But y'all stay tuned because I'm coming with hot fire. I got a lot of content that, like I said, I've been sitting back. But don't think I've just been sitting back doing nothing. I've been sitting back and I've been watching and I've been paying attention. There's a lot of wicked things going on. And there's a lot of, we're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about it all. Man. But what I will say is winter is here. Winter is here. There is no getting prepared. You get prepared when it's coming. Winter is here. And with that being said, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Episode 45. Winter is here. Yeah, I'm back in the groove, baby. I'm going to stop dropping them like it's hot fire like I used to. I might change it up, though. Instead of dropping them Sundays, I might drop them on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know yet. But I'm about to get things back rolling and get the show back on like it was and keep going. I didn't lose the motivation. I felt, I do what feels right. I follow my gut, I feel like when you follow your gut, you can't go wrong. Follow your first mind, you'll never go wrong. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Fellagood. I appreciate y'all. You know what I like to say, and I'm always say it. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with me. Fellagood Podcast, baby, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for your time more than anything, because the most important asset we have is time, and you can never get it back. And so I appreciate you taking a little time out of your day to tap in with me. Hit that like button. Fellagood Podcast on YouTube. Check me out. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get a notification when we come with the hot fire, because you know how I do it every time. And like always, I want you to know that you are great. You are awesome. And through all the stuff that we've been through in the last 2 years, here we are still standing. And I want you to know that you can do and you can be whoever you want to be. And you can do whatever you want to do. All you got to do is take that leap of faith and do it. Just like Miles Morales in Spider-Man. He had to take that leap of faith, baby. And you'll find out. Once you take that leap of faith and you invest in yourself and you believe in yourself, you can do all things. Especially when you believe in God. Because He makes it all possible. Know that. With that being said, just like always, I'm going to leave you with a fella fact. This picture here, I came across on my Facebook. And it's the truth. I can remember when I was a kid in school, this hit so much different now. That's my fellow fact for you. This hit different now. Because we were taught as kids to think the Bears were in the wrong for being mad at her. I love y'all. Until next time, peace.